I have a very unique program that I offer to my buyers. It's called the Perfect Home Finder. And the way it works is that I actually go out looking for the home that meets your criteria. Not by signing you up on a automatic drip from the local MLS or through Zillow or through other websites. I actually physically go and look at the homes that are off market, not the ones that are on market. Now, there's reasons for doing this. One of the reasons is that there's such a low inventory in our market and all across the country that we have to do something a little bit different than what other realtors or other agents do. And I've chosen this way to do it. And it's based on the idea that the first house I ever bought was basically an off-market property. And we had heard, my wife and I had heard that there was a possibility that these people may be interested in selling their home. They had made a reference to that like a couple years prior to us showing up. And so we decided to knock on their door and basically say, hey, if you're interested in selling your home, we'd be interested in buying this home. It fits our criteria. And they looked at each other and they thought a few moments and they said, you know what, we think we'd like to do that. And so we made an offer and we were able to close on the deal, and that was our first home. So it occurred to me that this is a way that could be used to find a home for somebody who's having difficulty finding a home. Low inventory causes you to not find the house that you want, or it causes you to find the house that you want, but now you've got to compete with other buyers who want that house as well, which often drives the price up to a place where you can't afford it or you just don't want to have to deal with that. So with my Perfect Home Finder program, basically what happens is I make contact with homeowners who have homes that fit your criteria, that are within your price range, that have the number of bedrooms, baths, yard size, all that sort of stuff. I take all that in consideration and I contact those homeowners. And once I contact those homeowners and they respond to me, I go and take a look at the property to make sure it fits your criteria. If it fits your criteria, I may see 5 or 6 homes. But if one of them fits your criteria, I begin to negotiate with that now seller and with the terms that work for you, and then I invite you to come see that home. I make arrangements for you to come see that home, and you can view it to make sure that it matches your criteria. If it doesn't, then we move on to something else. But typically it does. And typically we can bring a deal together with that homeowner that fits both parties' needs, and you have your home, and you haven't had to compete with anybody else for it. You haven't had to pay a above market price for it, and we can negotiate the time of moving and time of possession and those type of things that works for both parties. And so there's not as much pressure involved in it. Sure, we have the typical things. We have a contract, we sign the contract, we have inspections. We go through that whole process that we normally would with any other deal that's an on-market property, but this is off-market. And you basically have the satisfaction of knowing that you found your perfect home without anybody else knowing that it was available. That's the Perfect Home Finder.